The Green Bay Packers beat the Dallas Cowboys 31-28 in overtime, and this was a huge win for Green Bay. I am hoping that this game is a turning point for Green Bay. The Packers' second-round pick, rookie receiver Christian Watson, had a big day. 4 catches for 107 yards and 3 touchdowns. Christian Watson, finally, 10 games into his rookie year, 10 games into his first season in the NFL, I think started showing the potential that was talked about when he got drafted out of North Dakota State. He gave Green Bay what they've been missing all season, which is a true number one receiving threat. 4 catches, 107 yards, 3 touchdown catches. That's unreal. That's really good. And I want to, before we get on to talk about more stuff, I want to give credit to Aaron Rodgers. I want to read a tweet from someone sent me this. If you sent it to me on Instagram, I appreciate it. I forget who your name was, but someone, Matt Schneidman, tweeted this and said, "What did Aaron Rodgers say to Christian Watson on the sideline after his 2 drops on the opening drive?" Here's what he said. He said, "The ball is still coming your way, buddy. Let's get one of these. Let's make a play." I don't think I've very often in the past given Aaron Rodgers a lot of credit as a leader, but that's awesome. That's the stuff I like. Guy has a couple drops early. He's a young player. You need him to play well if you're going to win, and your season, if you're Aaron Rodgers, has been abysmal and bad and frustrating, and the problem all year has been we don't have a true number one receiver. Aaron encourages this young guy, Christian Watson, and after a rough start to the game, he goes on to have multiple long touchdowns, a lot of big catches. He's winning matchups, and you love to see it because that's if he can develop. I mean, man, I have talked a lot about the Packers and how it makes no sense what they're doing, but this was the first time all year I said, maybe they already have a good receiver. Maybe Christian Watson can be the guy they need. And it's been 10 games. This is finally in the 10th game, the first time he really had a big day. But I'm hoping here, man, like that this is the beginning of a really exciting phase of Christian Watson's season and maybe of his career where he starts getting, just going off and winning matchups and having big catches. And I'd love to see, I would love to see Christian Watson become Aaron's go-to guy. And I love the leadership from Aaron here to say, hey, man, let's flush it, move on. You're going to keep getting opportunities, and I need you to make one of these plays. And Aaron did keep going to him. And Christian Watson, 3 touchdown catches, just a monster day. And I'm so hoping, like I said, this is the beginning of something special in Green Bay with Christian Watson. And I hope he can be the number one receiver they so desperately need in Green Bay. Now, let's say it again out loud. Dallas lost to Green Bay in overtime, 31-28. Dallas lost to Green Bay. And it's a really embarrassing loss, in my opinion, if you're the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas led 28-14. And they let Green Bay come back. And it was really funny watching Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys head coach, lose on the road in Green Bay against the team that fired him. And I got no hatred for Mike McCarthy, but I thought this was a guaranteed victory. I'm like, look, you're a way better team. The Packers are struggling. It's funny that things were wrong about. And I was wrong about this game. And in my opinion, Dallas totally blew it this weekend. I mean, not only did they have a big lead, but in overtime, they had the ball 4th and 3 on the 35-yard line, and they decided to go for it instead of kicking a 52-yard field goal. A 52-yard field goal in Green Bay, Wisconsin is not guaranteed, I suppose, but they got stopped, and then Green Bay drove right down the field and won with a field goal, so it mattered. And so I would say there was a poor decision made by Dallas at the end of the game in overtime. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys quarterback, had back-to-back interceptions in this game. The Cowboys defense was really disappointing. Oh my gosh, they allowed Green Bay to run for over 200 yards. And I think in general, so the Cowboys are clearly a good football team. Like they win games. They've had a good defense a lot of times this year. But I so regularly look at Dallas and just feel underwhelmed. And I don't know if it's maybe because there's all these expectations or it's because they're this brand. And when I think of, I love video games and a lot of my friends play Halo. I love the Halo series. Halo is this big established brand. They put out a game recently called Halo Infinite, like fairly last year or two. And it's been underwhelming for a lot of people. But part of that's because of the expectations that come along with being the Halo franchise. And if that game, Halo Infinite, comes out with a different name and it's not a Halo game, people probably love it and are a little bit more gentle on it than they are with that. I wonder if some of that's happening with the Cowboys, where I just put them in this unique position because of the name and the brand that they are. So maybe that's why they're constantly underwhelming. But I want to say to you guys, this is important to me, and I don't want it lost. I want to kind of call my shot here. In my opinion, in the NFL, coach, quarterback, and owner are the three most important positions for a NFL franchise. Dallas doesn't have any of those three positions quite right. They've got a meddling owner, Jerry Jones, who will not hire a general manager and refuses to give up control. They've got an overpaid quarterback, Dak Prescott. Dak is a good quarterback. He's overpaid, though. He regularly does not make it happen when he needs to. And I think as a symptom of having a owner who won't give up control, the result is they've got a mediocre coach, Mike McCarthy. Not a bad guy. Don't hate the guy or anything. But regularly, he's been vanilla and bland and not good enough when he needs to be. So here's me calling my shot. Dallas will not win a Super Bowl with their current leadership. They have got no general manager, a meddling owner, Jerry Jones, Dak and Mike McCarthy, coach and quarterback. That's not a big three that's going to win you a Super Bowl. And I just want to say that here. As long as those three are the top guys in Dallas, I'm not going to give them any more of I'm not going to believe they're going to win a Super Bowl. And they're welcome to prove me wrong, right? Like in fact, I'd like to see that. I like Dak Prescott. He's got a good story. He's dealt with a lot of loss in his life. I actually like Dak a lot. So I don't root against them. But as far as confidence goes, I've got no confidence that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl. And I hope they change my mind. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think it'd be good for football to see the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl. They're a massive brand with a huge following. Can you imagine how many people would be tuning in if they were in the Super Bowl? But so it'd be good for the sport I love too. But I don't see it. I see an owner that's a problem. I see a coach who's regularly too mediocre, and I see a quarterback who's overpaid and makes too many mistakes and doesn't play good enough when it really matters. And I just, one more time, I'll call my shot. With the current leadership in Dallas, Dak, Mike McCarthy, and Jerry Jones, they are not going to win a Super Bowl.